That would help. That's helpful. That's helpful. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Janelle Wood with the Black Mothers Forum, and I am excited to be here today to announce the official announcement that we have formally partnered with Prenda and their micro schools, and I'm so excited about that. We're excited about the opportunity to do this work that we have been so desperately in need of in the Black community. I am thankful that we are joined here today by some amazing Black mothers and one of our beautiful students, and we're here coming to you live from the Grassroots Bookstore and Juice Bar at 1145 East Washington Street, Suite 200 in Phoenix, Arizona. And I want to thank Grassroots Bookstore and Juice Bar for opening their doors to us today. So, how did we get here? How did we get here? How did the Black Mothers Forum get to this point where we are engaging in this educational work ourselves? Well, I want to take you on a brief journey. When we started in 2016, our goal was to make sure that our Black children had everything they stood in need of to be successful. Our goal was to make sure that our Black children would not be gunned down in the streets by police officers or pushed out of their schools by school administrators. Our focus was to make sure that we dismantle the school-to-prison pipeline. And in doing that work, we met with countless parents, Black parents, over the years that have come to us for counsel, for advocacy work to help keep their children, our Black sons and daughters, in school. And oftentimes we found ourselves on the reactive side of this problem, where we were reacting after the fact, after the child has been pushed out, after the discipline has been handed out. And we decided in 2019, the mothers decided, you know what? We're going to actually have to show people what it looks like to create a safe and supportive learning environment for our Black children. We are going to have to take responsibility for the well-being, the social emotional well-being, and the academic well-being of our Black children. And so we started on a journey to find that type of space. We started on a journey to look for the proper school model that would actually help us with this. And so we looked at different entities. We looked at charter, we looked at public schools, we looked at private, we looked at homeschooling, and we recognized that, my goodness, we just don't have the funding to do this. We just don't have the manpower to get this done, because it takes capital if you're going to bring on people. And so one of our beautiful sisters, who is our executive director, Deborah Colbert, because she is who she is, I love her, she found Prenda. And she did her research, as she usually does. She is a researcher. And she left no stone unturned, no question unanswered before bringing it to my attention. When she brought Prenda to my attention, it was in early 2020. Now, this was before COVID. See, we were looking for this answer in 2019. And so, although we got a chance to launch in 2021, this wasn't in response to the pandemic. This was in response to the racial pandemic that has been in place for decades. And so as we started to work with Prenda and get to meet Kelly Smith, who is the founder, who is amazing, and I'm glad to have met him. He has a beautiful heart for our children. I'm going to turn it over to Treese Bowman, who is also a beautiful, beautiful Black mother who's come alongside of us, who serves Prenda, who works with Prenda, and she's a part of the Equitable Alliances team. I will come back later and wrap us up, but I wanted to turn it over to Treese to give us an overview of Prenda, who they are, and what their focus is. Treese?
Thank you so much, Janelle. As she stated, I am Treese Bowman, and I actually lead the Equitable Alliances division. And part of our mission is to ensure high-level education, high-quality education for all students, no matter their background. And so it's super exciting to be in this partnership with Janelle and the Black Mothers Forum. This is bringing Kelly, our CEO, that so amazing, as Janelle stated, his vision to life. It all started back in 2013 when he was going to code clubs, starting out in volunteering in libraries and seeing kids coming in unexcited for schooling and really just unempowered and just not seeing the progress that they want in their schooling. But coming to Code Club and just thriving, having huge projects, Googling trigonometry, taking their learning into their own hands. And he wondered, like, why can't kids have this experience always? They are having fun. They were excited about learning. But as we all know, you can't teach a child that is not willing to learn, especially if it's something that they don't want to learn. So Kelly had a brilliant idea to create this environment of excitement around learning and education. And that has spurred over the years to what is now Prenda and this amazing partnership with the Black Mothers Forum, just seeing firsthand what a organization like Prenda does for communities. As Janelle stated, I am a mother of 3, and I saw firsthand my son, his love for learning be completely diminished by the traditional school setting. And being able to see his spark reignite within Prenda has been just so exciting for me. He comes to me and wants to do work on the weekends because he can, and it's at his own pace, and he can just learn what he wants. And it's so exciting to see his love for learning reignite, as well as so many others all over. We are all over right now. We have over 400 locations spanning all over Arizona, which is super exciting. And this is just the beginning. We're really creating these unique learning experiences for everyone. So what is a micro school, you may ask? A micro school is 5 to 10 students in a small environment. It can be a unique location, and they get together with each other using mastery-based, project-based learning, and in an environment that they can really be excited and empowered, because that's Prenda's entire mission, is to empower learners and get them excited for what learning can be. So being able to be in a small environment with what we call a guide, facilitating that learning. They're very caring. They start with heart and really make sure that the kids have the tools that they need in order to be successful and just empowered as much as they can. So I'm super excited that together we can create these micro schools and learning environments in our communities and make schools accessible for our Black and low-income students all over the Phoenix area. So thank you, Janelle, for this partnership with the Black Mothers Forum and Prenda. This unity is going to be amazing, and we are launching as many micro schools as we can by the fall. 58 is the number that we've been given, and that's what we're here to do, is just create that environment for students. So if any of this just inspires you or sparks excitement within you, I encourage you to please apply to become a guide, inquire about it. And if this sounds like an environment that your students would thrive within, or that excites you, please feel free to reach out, fill out our interest form, so that when our guides are ready to start taking in students in their micro schools in August, that you will be able to be the first one to know. So thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you. So, Kylie?
Thank you, Janelle. Hi, my name is Kylie Chamblee, and I am the lead learning guide with Prenda and Black Mothers Forum here in South Phoenix. I just want to give a little bit of a brief background about myself, and then just let you know what I do as a guide. And I will be using my paper because I like to talk a lot, so I'm going to stay on key here. So I just want to let everyone know I am a native from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and I did just move here. It hasn't even been a year yet. It will be a year for me in June. When I relocated, it was really hard for me to get a position as a educator, even though I do have a master's in education with a background in curriculum and instruction and administration. And I was fortunately lucky to meet Janelle and get the opportunity to be a learning guide with Prenda as well. So um, with being a learning guide with Prenda, I oversee our 3rd through 8th graders in our micro school, as well as the kindergarten through 2nd grade that we have next door that Miss Tiffany oversees as well. And as a learning guide with Prenda, I've learned to get my mind out of the traditional school setting. I've been an educator for 7 years before I moved out here. And switching from a traditional school setting to a micro school setting was a struggle for me at first because it was challenging in a couple ways. Working with children in various grades and all different academic levels can be overwhelming at times, and having less hours in the day can be hard to work with them, and did seem at times that the students may not be getting enough, and that is at times. But as all education systems has gone through many changes in models, curriculum, technology use, and other academic approaches to address the global pandemic we've all faced this past year, does anybody really know the right answer? And so there was not really a clear-cut solution in my mind that I've seen that could be an answer that fits all. So I do not believe that there is one answer for us in education, but I do know that we as Black mothers understand what is best needed for our own children and those in our communities that we live in. Our children need stability and assurance with their education and be instructed by educators who have the passion and knowledge to guide their natural academic capabilities and creative abilities in a safe and productive learning environment. And we do that in our NIA and our Crum Academy with Prenda Micro Schools and Black Mothers Forum. I've seen our children re-engage in their education in ways that I never seen in public schools that I've worked in the past. The students have reacclimated to their daily in-person learning models, following COVID safety procedures, of course, that enables them to make friends off the screen and practice their social emotional growth in real life and learn in spaces that lets them succeed academically at their own pace instead of at what a grade level should look like or what a grade level can bound them to. The older students have embraced and mentored the younger students. Our students know that they are loved and provided with all opportunities to help them succeed in their education because they receive closer attention. We have been increasing students' academic knowledge and addressing behavioral concerns and academic shortfalls that would have otherwise been missed or swept under the rug in a public school in today's learning structure. They have also have peace of mind knowing that they're going to go to school every day and to see their friends and their teachers, and then that they are getting the natural habit to focus on their education. Then we are missing out in this virtual learning right now. Even though this model is not what we all imagine, I believe as a guide and a parent of 2 students who are also in the Prenda Micro School, we are deeply people who care about our students' education, and that this model will prove fruitful in academic and social emotional learning and growth for all of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie. Thank you so much. Tiffany?
Hi, my name is Tiffany Dudley, and I have 2 children that go to the micro schools. And when my oldest son first entered the education system, it was a less than smooth transition, to say the least. A child that was very bright and was always building, always making something, always asking a ton of questions about how things work. As he went in the education system, I slowly saw that dim, which turned into disinterest, not paying attention, and then behavior problems with countless visits to the principal's office. It got to a point that he just did not want to be there and was so unmotivated to do anything. And as a parent, I searched so many different options of how I can help him, how I can get him motivated, how to get him back to that child that I knew before that had such a love for learning. And that's when I heard of the micro schools with Prenda and the Black Mothers Forum. And I was so excited to see, because I'm like, oh, I think my child would thrive in this kind of environment. And so as we're switching over, I was a little nervous at first because the change in their routine and the change in structure, I was afraid of how he would react to that type of change. But it was such a smooth and beautiful transition. We've only been there for a few short months, and in that short amount of time, I have saw my child change completely. For the first time that I can ever remember, he actually told me that I like school and has just randomly decided he wants to learn a new language at 9. And just having that motivation to go out and do things on his own is no longer to get him to fight to try to do anything or let's build anything. Before, I would buy him little kits that you get at the store where they can build this little robot and make this, and he would get to about step number 10 and he was done. And so now that same thing that I bought him for his birthday so years ago, he has now picked that back up and started that process to going through it. Whenever he gets frustrated, he no longer quits and says, this is stupid, and just wants to be done, but he actually has that motivation to keep going and keep pushing through. And that model right there means so much to me, just to see how much my child has changed and his love for learning has grown back and how comfortable he feels. He's no longer guarded and worried about what's going to happen or am I going to get in trouble or what consequence or punishment is going to come today, and that left him so guarded, unable to fully express himself. But being in those micro schools, he feels safe. Just safe to be himself, safe to let his personality, which would be considered so different than what would be normal, but he feels safe to be able to be himself. And that's where that love for learning is coming back, is that he just feels so comfortable that he can be himself. And as a mom, that is exactly what you want for your kids, for what's best for them, to feel like it's okay to be me. I don't have to be pushed into a model of this is what I need to look like in order to go to the school system, that I can learn at my own pace. I can choose what I want to learn, and that my voice actually matters. Because in a public school, he didn't feel like his voice mattered. He couldn't say what was upsetting him or why he didn't want to learn this or what was confusing without some kind of backlash. But here he feels safe, not only to be himself, but to actually use his voice, and that his voice matters. And so as a parent, I am so excited and so glad that I found this model so early on. I would recommend it to anyone with any children. It might seem like a scary jump with like, how is this going to work out? But trust that model. You'll be surprised what our kids can do and what your kids can do when they're in an environment where they feel safe and where they trust what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. Come on, Layla. Speak into the mic.
Hi, my name is Layla. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to share my feedback on Prenda and the micro schools. So, being in a micro school is really cool. Before about 2 months ago, I had never heard of a micro school, so I was excited to see what Prenda had in store. One thing I noticed was that they do things a little different from traditional schools. For example, we do community circle. Every morning, we share what we did during the week or nighttime. But what I like the most is that there are less students. Having less students help me and others focus more. Learning-wise, I feel like I've gained more knowledge in all of my subjects because my learning guide, Miss Kylie, has helped me. She walks me through what I don't understand, and she's great. I think this micro school is really cool.
Oh, come here, come here. Oh, thank you, thank you. You, Layla, are the reason. Stand here with me. You are the reason we do what we do, because we want to make sure that our black sons and daughters can be all that they've been created to be. And so this is why we get a chance to say today that we are, first of all, so thankful for you. We love you. You got a whole bunch of mamas. I see your mama out there. That's the birth mama, but you got a whole lot of surrogate mamas here that want to make sure you succeed. And so thank you for sharing your testimony with us today. That took great courage, and I'm so proud of you. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Thank you. So as we wrap up, you have heard from different people. You've heard from our guide. We've heard from our parent. You've heard from our student. You've heard from Treese, who is our representative liaison from Prenda. And so I don't have to say much more because it speaks for itself. Our goal to create safe and supportive learning environments is actually being realized now through our partnership with Prenda through the micro schools. Our goal as Black Mothers Forum members is to make sure we put as many micro schools throughout this valley to make sure all of our children can experience what Tiffany said her sons have experienced, what Layla has experienced, what many other of our children have experienced. I have their mothers here, and I thank their mothers for entrusting us with their children, because they know that we care about them. And I'm not saying that public school teachers and all of them don't care about our children. I'm just saying that unfortunately, they don't know our children. See, that's the difference. And when you do not allow the Black mama to be a part of the conversation, to be a part of the decision-making process, to be a part of the team in the classroom space, you have completely diminished the value of our children. You have completely disregarded who they are. And when they see us looking into their face, even when they're having a bad moment, even when they're having a bad day, and we connect. I love the discipline process, the policies of connect. And then we just added redirect. So connecting with the child, looking them in the eye, saying, what is going on? And we have some of our babies who have some struggles with behavior, and that's okay, because they have to have that struggle. That's the only way they grow. We gotta allow our children to grow. That means they gotta experience and exhibit different behaviors so we can help them learn how to filter that, how to correct, and how to cope with the things that are coming their way that they do not have control over. So we gotta teach them where their power lies, and it lies within. We just gotta teach them how to get to that and how to utilize that. And so this curriculum has been a godsend. This partnership has been a godsend. These relationships have been a godsend. And this journey that we're on together is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So we're looking at 58 micro schools. We need learning guides. I need people that look like me and look like my babies to apply for learning guides. It is a competitive salary. There's a competitive pay. So I want to make sure you realize you will get paid. You're not going to be doing this for free. But if you want to make sure your children are safe, you want to make sure you're a part of that, then it's the mamas that do this. And so I want to make sure you know how to do that. You can either contact me at info@blackmothersforums.com, or you can contact Prenda at what, Treese?
At Treese@prenda.co.
Yeah, Treese@prenda.co. You also can go to our websites, www.blackmothersforums.com, to get more information. And you can go to Prenda's website as well. Where's your website?
Prenda.com.
Prenda.com. Love it, Treese. And we also are looking for parents, those parents who want your child to be in a smaller learning community, a smaller learning environment where they get the attention that they need, where they get the love that they need, where they get the care, and above all, where they feel safe and supported so they can explore not only what's going on inside their little bodies, but also inside their minds. They get a chance to bring out what's in there, and we get a chance to cultivate it. So thank you so much for joining us today. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us, Black Mothers Forum. If you want to call us by phone, we're at 602-638-1908. And Prenda, is there a number for them for you? Come on. What number should they contact? The website.
Prenda.com.
There you go. All right. Thank you all for joining us, and have a great rest of your weekend. And before I leave, because this is about mamas, happy Mother's Day.